Have you ever paused to consider whether traveling after 70 remains a wise choice? While the allure of exploring new destinations and immersing oneself in diverse cultures can be thrilling, it's crucial to acknowledge the significant risks that many seniors overlook until they're directly confronted with them. As we age, our bodies and minds undergo transformations that can render travel more taxing, less predictable, and even hazardous. While some might assume they can maintain the same pace they did in their younger years, the truth is that travel beyond the age of 70 presents unique challenges. These can transform a long-awaited dream vacation into a stressful or even life-threatening experience. In this video, we're going to explore not 5 but 7 key reasons why travel after 70 can be risky. From unexpected health crises to the hidden financial traps that could deplete your savings, each point will provide valuable insights into the specific challenges seniors face while traveling. By the time you reach the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer understanding of why travel at this stage of life demands extra vigilance, and what proactive steps you can take to ensure your safety if you decide to embark on a trip. Stick with me until the very end, because the final reason we'll discuss is one that many seniors don't even consider. Yet it's among the most frequent ways that people lose money, time, and peace of mind while traveling. So let's get started. Number 1. Increased health risks and medical emergencies. One of the most significant concerns associated with traveling after 70 is the heightened risk of sudden health issues. As we get older, our bodies tend to become less predictable, and conditions such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and respiratory problems can escalate into emergencies, often when we least anticipate them. While accessing medical care quickly is typically straightforward when you're at home, it can become far more complicated when you're traveling, particularly in an unfamiliar setting or a foreign country. A minor health issue that could be easily managed at home can rapidly evolve into a serious, even life-threatening situation when you're far from your regular healthcare provider. For many seniors, the potential for a medical emergency isn't just a possibility, it's a real concern. Extended flights can elevate the risk of blood clots, also known as deep vein thrombosis. High altitudes can place additional stress on the heart and lungs, especially for individuals with pre-existing conditions. Even common issues like dehydration or heat exhaustion can have a more severe impact in unfamiliar climates. Seniors also have a higher susceptibility to infections, which means that encountering new bacteria and viruses in different locations can lead to unexpected illnesses. Let's consider the experience of James, a 74-year-old who had always cherished traveling. He planned a 2-week cruise with his wife, envisioning it as a relaxing way to explore new places without excessive physical exertion. However, on the 4th day of the trip, he began to experience intense chest pain. The ship's medical staff provided initial care, but he required immediate hospitalization. Due to their location in the middle of the ocean, he had to wait for an emergency evacuation to the nearest port, which delayed his treatment by several hours. Thankfully, he survived, but the experience left him deeply shaken. What was intended to be a dream vacation turned into a terrifying ordeal, one that he later acknowledged could have been avoided if he had given more careful consideration to the potential risks. Medical insurance is another critical consideration. Many seniors assume that their regular health coverage will extend to their travels, only to discover too late that they lack coverage for medical treatment in another country. Without the appropriate travel insurance, hospital visits, emergency surgeries, and even basic medications can lead to substantial out-of-pocket expenses. Some seniors end up spending thousands of dollars simply to receive the necessary care while abroad. So what steps can you take if you're over 70 and contemplating travel? Start by consulting your doctor for a thorough health evaluation. Discuss any potential risks and ensure you have an adequate supply of all necessary medications. Always research the healthcare system at your destination, and if you're traveling internationally, secure comprehensive travel insurance that includes coverage for emergency evacuations and hospital stays. When it comes to health, being well prepared can be the key factor that determines whether your trip is smooth or disastrous. Maintaining good health is paramount to enjoying life after 70. While medical risks are a significant concern, they're not the sole reason why travel can be perilous. Number 2, increased exposure to infections and contaminants. One of the frequently overlooked risks of traveling after 70 is the increased exposure to germs, viruses, and foodborne illnesses. Crowded airports, packed airplanes, public transportation, and unfamiliar restaurants all create environments where bacteria and viruses flourish. For younger travelers, a minor cold or stomach bug might be a temporary inconvenience. However, for seniors, these infections can lead to severe complications, hospitalizations, or even long-term health setbacks. A single trip can expose an older adult to more illnesses than they would typically encounter over several months at home, and in some instances, the immune system simply isn't robust enough to effectively fight them off. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken, making it more challenging to recover from infections. Respiratory illnesses in particular present a substantial risk to older adults. Research indicates that seniors are more prone to developing complications from the flu, pneumonia, and even the common cold, especially when exposed to new strains in different parts of the world. Airplanes specifically are breeding grounds for germs. Passengers are often in close proximity, breathing in recirculated air for extended periods. Given that individuals from all over the globe pass through airports daily, it's easy to come into contact with viruses that your body has never encountered before. Then there's the matter of food and water safety. Many travelers are excited to sample new foods in different countries, but for seniors, unfamiliar ingredients, spices, and cooking methods can lead to digestive distress. Foodborne illnesses like norovirus, E. coli, and salmonella can affect older adults much more severely, resulting in prolonged illness, dehydration, and a significantly weakened immune system. While locals may have developed immunity to certain bacteria in their water supply, travelers often lack the same protection. Something as simple as drinking tap water or consuming a salad washed with local water can lead to serious stomach infections. Public restrooms, hotel rooms, and rental cars are also places where germs can linger. It's a common assumption that a place is safe if it appears clean. But surfaces like doorknobs, seatbelts, and tray tables are rarely disinfected as thoroughly as necessary. Seniors who rely on mobility aids such as canes or walkers face an even greater risk, as they frequently touch public surfaces for support. So how can seniors protect themselves if travel is unavoidable? Taking extra precautions is essential. Wearing a mask in crowded areas, washing hands frequently, and carrying hand sanitizer can help mitigate the risk of contracting harmful germs. Opting only for bottled or filtered water, avoiding raw foods in unfamiliar places, and choosing well-cooked meals can aid in preventing foodborne illnesses. For those traveling internationally, it's crucial to obtain recommended vaccines and carry essential medications for stomach issues or respiratory infections. Maintaining health while traveling is achievable, but it necessitates vigilance, thorough preparation, and a robust immune system. However, health risks aren't the only concern. There's another significant reason why traveling after 70 can be more of a burden than a joy, and it's something that can impact not only your health but also your finances and peace of mind. Number 3, travel fatigue and recovery challenges. Travel might seem exciting, but for seniors over 70, the physical demands can be much more significant than anticipated. Long flights, early check-ins, unpredictable schedules, and extended periods of walking can lead to exhaustion that is difficult to overcome. Unlike younger individuals, for whom a good night's sleep might be enough to recharge, older adults often find that fatigue persists for days or even weeks after a trip. When the body is fatigued, everything else is affected. Immune function weakens, coordination deteriorates, and the likelihood of illness or injury increases dramatically. One of the primary issues seniors encounter while traveling is disrupted sleep. Sleeping in an unfamiliar bed, dealing with noisy hotel environments, or adjusting to different time zones can make it nearly impossible to get adequate rest. Sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling tired. It also impairs mental sharpness, weakens the immune system, and elevates the risk of heart problems. Research has demonstrated that seniors who travel across multiple time zones often experience longer adjustment periods, meaning jet lag can last much longer than expected. This prolonged exhaustion can transform what should be an enjoyable trip into a miserable experience, leaving travelers drained rather than rejuvenated. Then there's the matter of physical strain. Sitting for extended durations on a plane, bus, or train can result in stiff muscles, swollen joints, and a higher risk of blood clots. For seniors with arthritis or circulation issues, prolonged travel times can cause discomfort that lingers long after the trip has concluded. Even upon arrival at your destination, the physical demands of sightseeing, carrying luggage, and adhering to scheduled activities can quickly become overwhelming. What begins as an exciting vacation can soon devolve into a struggle simply to keep up. Take, for example, the case of Richard, a 75-year-old man who had always loved to travel. Following his retirement, he and his wife planned a 2-week vacation overseas, assuming it would be just as enjoyable as their trips in previous years. However, after a 10-hour flight, navigating a crowded airport, and adjusting to a 6-hour time difference, Richard felt exhausted before the trip had even truly begun. By the second day, he had difficulty walking long distances, struggled to remain alert during tours, and required frequent breaks. By the time he had adjusted, it was almost time to return home, and he spent the subsequent weeks recovering from the trip rather than savoring its memories. Another challenge seniors face is maintaining their regular diet and hydration levels. Many destinations feature unfamiliar foods that can cause digestive problems, and staying adequately hydrated while on the go is often overlooked. Dehydration alone can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and confusion, making even simple activities feel like a struggle. Combined with poor sleep and physical strain, it's easy to understand why many seniors feel worse after a trip than refreshed. So what's the solution? If travel is unavoidable, seniors should incorporate plenty of rest days, stay hydrated, and avoid overfilling their schedule with back-to-back activities. Opting for shorter flights with layovers to allow for movement, packing nutritious snacks, and making time for naps can also be beneficial in reducing exhaustion. Most importantly, recognizing personal limitations and adjusting travel plans accordingly is essential, because a vacation should be a source of enjoyment, not something that requires weeks to recover from. The physical demands of travel are a significant concern for seniors, but they're not the only hidden danger. Number 4. Higher risk of falls and injuries. One of the most significant dangers of traveling after 70 is the increased risk of falls and injuries. As we age, our balance, reflexes, and bone density naturally decline, making us more susceptible to accidents. While a minor stumble in your own home might not seem like a major concern, a fall while traveling, particularly in an unfamiliar location, can lead to broken bones, serious hospitalizations, or even permanent mobility issues. The reality is that a single fall can alter the course of a senior's life, transforming what was intended to be a relaxing trip into a painful and costly ordeal. Many seniors don't fully appreciate how different travel environments can be compared to what they're accustomed to. Hotels, cruise ships, and historic sites often feature uneven floors, poorly lit staircases, or slippery surfaces that increase the likelihood of falls. Some destinations offer limited or no accessibility accommodations, meaning that simple activities like boarding a bus or navigating cobblestone streets can present unexpected hazards. In numerous places, emergency medical services aren't as prompt or advanced as they are back home, which means that even a minor injury can take longer to treat, thereby increasing the risk of complications. Consider the experience of Cindy, a 78-year-old woman who had always dreamed of visiting Europe. She was in excellent shape for her age and regularly walked around her neighborhood without any issues. However, upon arriving in Italy and attempting to navigate the steep, uneven streets, she quickly realized it wasn't as easy as she had imagined. One evening, while stepping off a curb in a dimly lit alley, she lost her footing and fell heavily, fracturing her hip. She was rushed to a local hospital where doctors informed her that she required surgery. Not only did she have to cut her trip short, but she also spent months in recovery after returning home. What was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime became an experience she wished she had never undertaken. Another significant factor is fatigue. Traveling frequently involves long days, irregular meal schedules, and disrupted sleep patterns, all of which can impair balance and coordination. When the body is tired, reaction times slow down, making a misstep or stumble more likely. For seniors with arthritis or joint pain, extended walks through airports, train stations, or tourist sites can cause swelling and discomfort, further elevating the risk of a sudden loss of stability. So how can seniors mitigate these risks if travel is necessary? Choosing destinations with good accessibility, avoiding high-risk areas with uneven terrain, and consistently wearing appropriate footwear can be beneficial. Using walking sticks, wearing supportive shoes, and ensuring adequate rest can also make a significant difference. Above all, acknowledging personal limitations is paramount, as no trip is worth sacrificing your long-term mobility and independence. Number 5. Travel insurance and financial risks. One of the most unexpected risks of traveling after 70 isn't solely related to health. it also involves the financial risks that accompany it. Many seniors assume that if they encounter a problem while traveling, they can simply rely on their insurance or personal savings. However, the reality is that travel-related medical emergencies, trip cancellations, and even financial scams can deplete a person's bank account more rapidly than they anticipate. For many seniors, a single unforeseen event can transform a meticulously planned trip into a financial nightmare, leaving them burdened with overwhelming expenses and stress. One of the most significant financial risks is the cost of medical care abroad. Numerous seniors are unaware that their standard health insurance often doesn't provide coverage for treatment in foreign countries. This implies that if you become ill or sustain an injury while traveling, you could be responsible for thousands of dollars in medical bills. Even in countries where healthcare is generally more affordable, emergency medical evacuations, such as being airlifted to an appropriate hospital, can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Without adequate travel insurance, seniors might find themselves in a position where they must either pay an exorbitant bill out of pocket or forgo the necessary care. Then there's the issue of trip cancellations. Many seniors book trips months in advance, assuming they'll be in good health when the time arrives. However, life is unpredictable. Health conditions can arise suddenly, necessitating a trip to be postponed or canceled altogether. Unfortunately, many airlines, hotels, and cruise lines have strict policies that don't permit refunds for last-minute cancellations. This means seniors can lose thousands of dollars if they need to alter their plans and lack proper trip insurance, making it nearly impossible to recover that money. Beyond medical expenses and cancellations, there's another serious financial risk: scams and fraud. Seniors are frequently targeted by scammers who prey on travelers, employing tactics such as fake taxi services, overcharging for simple goods, or even elaborate schemes designed to steal credit card information. Many scammers specifically target older adults who appear unfamiliar with their surroundings, recognizing that they're less likely to detect a scam as it's happening. In some instances, criminals take advantage of seniors by offering fraudulent vacation deals that turn out to be nothing more than an expensive trap. Consider the case of George, a 76-year-old man who had always been careful with his finances. He booked a dream vacation to a tropical island, diligently saving for every aspect of the trip. However, upon arrival, he discovered that the hotel he had booked didn't exist. He had fallen victim to an online scam, and by the time he realized it, his money was gone. With nowhere to stay, he had to scramble to find another hotel, paying double what he had originally budgeted just to have a place to sleep. What should have been a relaxing trip turned into a stressful financial ordeal that continued to trouble him even after he returned home. So how can seniors safeguard themselves? First, always verify whether your health insurance covers international travel, and if it doesn't, invest in a comprehensive travel insurance plan that includes coverage for medical emergencies and trip cancellations. Second, when booking a trip, use only reputable companies and be wary of deals that seem too good to be true. Third, exercise extra caution with your money while traveling. Avoid carrying large sums of cash. Be mindful of who has access to your credit card information and never share personal financial details with strangers. While travel can be exciting, these financial risks underscore that extra caution is necessary after 70. The potential for unexpected costs, the risk of losing money due to scams, and the sheer unpredictability of health emergencies make travel a gamble that not every senior is prepared to take. Number 6. Increased risk of cognitive challenges and disorientation. Traveling after 70 can present significant cognitive challenges that are often underestimated. As we age, cognitive functions such as memory, attention span, and processing speed can decline, making it more difficult to navigate unfamiliar environments and handle the complexities of travel. This can lead to an increased risk of disorientation, confusion, and difficulties with decision-making while on the move. Unfamiliar surroundings, coupled with the stress of travel, can exacerbate existing cognitive conditions such as mild cognitive impairment or early-stage dementia. Seniors may find it challenging to remember travel itineraries, recognize landmarks, or follow directions, increasing the risk of getting lost or becoming separated from travel companions. The disruption of routines and sleep patterns associated with travel can also contribute to cognitive difficulties and disorientation. Air travel in particular can pose cognitive challenges for seniors. Changes in cabin pressure and reduced oxygen levels can affect cognitive function and contribute to confusion or disorientation during and after flights. Jet lag, as discussed earlier, can further compound these issues, disrupting the body's natural rhythms and impacting cognitive performance. Consider the example of Helen, an 80-year-old woman who had always been an avid traveler. She embarked on a trip to visit her grandchildren in another state, a journey she had made many times before. However, this time she became disoriented at the airport, missing her connecting flight and struggling to communicate her situation to airport staff. She became anxious and confused, and it took several hours for airport security to locate her family and ensure she reached her destination safely. What was intended to be a joyful family visit became a stressful and frightening experience due to the cognitive challenges she encountered during travel. To mitigate these risks, seniors planning to travel should take several precautions. Traveling with a companion can provide invaluable support and assistance with navigation, decision-making, and managing travel logistics. Simplifying itineraries, using assistive devices such as GPS trackers or pre-programmed directions, and ensuring access to familiar items or routines can also help reduce cognitive strain. It's also crucial for seniors with cognitive concerns to discuss their travel plans with their healthcare provider and consider whether travel is advisable. Number 7. Emotional and psychological stress. Beyond the physical and cognitive demands, traveling after 70 can also take a significant toll on emotional and psychological well-being. Travel often involves a series of stressors, including navigating crowded airports, dealing with flight delays or cancellations, adapting to unfamiliar environments, and managing logistical challenges. These stressors can be particularly challenging for seniors, who may be more vulnerable to anxiety, stress, and emotional fatigue. The excitement and anticipation of travel can sometimes mask the underlying stress it can induce, especially for older adults. The pressure to adhere to schedules, the uncertainty of new situations, and the constant stimulation of travel can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed or anxious. Seniors may also experience feelings of loneliness or isolation if they are traveling alone, or if they have difficulty connecting with others in unfamiliar settings. Furthermore, travel can trigger emotional distress related to pre-existing conditions such as anxiety or depression. The disruption of routines, changes in environment, and physical fatigue associated with travel can exacerbate symptoms and make it more challenging for seniors to manage their emotional well-being. Consider the experience of Robert, a 72-year-old man who had recently lost his wife. He decided to take a trip to a place they had always dreamed of visiting together, hoping it would bring him comfort. However, the trip triggered intense feelings of grief and sadness. Being in a new place without his wife amplified his sense of loss, and he found himself overwhelmed by memories and emotions. Instead of finding solace, the trip became a painful reminder of his loss, highlighting the potential for travel to trigger complex emotions in older adults. To minimize emotional and psychological stress during travel, seniors should prioritize self-care and emotional support. Planning for downtime, incorporating relaxation techniques, and maintaining contact with loved ones can help manage stress and promote emotional well-being. If seniors have pre-existing mental health conditions, it's essential to consult with a healthcare provider before traveling and develop strategies for managing symptoms while away from home. So far, we've explored 7 significant reasons why traveling after 70 involves serious risks that many seniors don't take into account until they're personally confronted with them. From unforeseen health crises to injuries, exhaustion, infections, and financial pitfalls, each of these challenges can transform what should be a relaxing vacation into an overwhelming, even dangerous experience. While travel might seem like an exciting way to spend retirement, the reality is that beyond a certain age, it necessitates much more meticulous planning, caution, and awareness than it did in younger years. But does that imply seniors should never travel? Not necessarily. It simply means that for individuals over 70, their approach to travel must evolve. Instead of demanding long-haul flights, stressful tours, and high-risk destinations, it might be more prudent to choose closer, safer options that don't place excessive strain on the body. Exploring local attractions, opting for shorter trips, or focusing on destinations with readily available access to medical care can significantly enhance safety and enjoyment. Travel should enrich life, not introduce new problems that linger long after the trip is over. If you or a loved one is contemplating travel after 70, take a moment to genuinely consider the potential challenges. Is your health stable enough to handle the journey? Do you have the appropriate travel insurance to safeguard against financial risks? Have you selected a destination that is safe and accessible to meet your needs? These questions might not seem thrilling to ask, but addressing them honestly could prevent unnecessary stress and hardship in the future.